Now that your dog understands marker words and leash pressure, we're going to go over our obedience. We're going to start with the sit command. So at this point, your dog does know what sit means after going through our board and train program. So you are going to always start off with your dog on leash when you're asking them to do your commands, because I need you to be able to follow through if they decide, yeah, I don't feel like it. Now I'm going to ask them to sit, but I'm going to use the yes marker. Sit. Yes. So when I say yes, he should be getting out of that command and he's going to come to me to get the reward. Good. Sit. I'm going to use go. And that means I'm going to toss the food for him to go get it. Good boy. And now I'm going to put this on the ground. Sit. Get it. And releasing him to get it that way. So that's how you can use all of your marker words with the sit command. Now, if you ask your dog to sit and they decide they don't want to do it for whatever reason, this is where your leash pressure is going to help you. At this point, we know your dog knows what the command sit means, so we're just going to help them and we're going to reinforce that. So if I ask him to sit and he does not, I'm going to put a little bit of upwards pressure on this leash. As soon as his butt hits the ground, I'm releasing that pressure. And we can use whatever marker word we want here. I'm going to say good and reward him. Good job, buddy. Free. Good. Now let's say we're in a busy area and we don't think our dog is going to hear us, or we just want them to sit without having to say sit. You can use that leash pressure to help you. Free. So all I'm going to do without saying anything is I'm going to do a little bit of that upwards leash pressure. As soon as his butt hits the ground, I'm releasing that pressure. Yes. Good job. Let's say I ask him to sit, leash pressure isn't working. I can then use my no marker, which is going to be my correction or my punishment marker. It's going to let him know that he did something wrong. And I'm actually going to pop the leash a little bit. So if I say sit and he does not sit, no. Little pop of the leash. Good boy. Very nice. After you correct your dog, it is important to still let them know that they did a good job. After they complete that command, they do it correctly. You don't necessarily have to treat him, but me saying good boy, good job, just to reinforce that that is what I wanted, is very important. I don't want the dog to get shut down or confused by that correction. We want to be fair. Free. Good boy. Now that we've covered our sit, we're going to move into sit, stay. Up, up. So I'm going to ask him to sit. When I ask him to sit, he should be in this position, really no matter what, unless I release him. When I tell him to sit and I want him to stay here for a long duration or for a certain amount of distance, I'm always going to start very close to the dog, and then I'm going to work my way back. So I'm going to start by facing him here. He's still in that seated position. I'm going to take a couple steps back. He's doing great. Good boy. I could say good and come back and reward him. Good job. Now at any point, if he does get up here, I'm going to use a little bit of leash pressure to help him get back into that position. When we're working on stay, we're starting close, we're doing baby steps backwards. I'm going to start with some sideways movements here and just make sure that he is staying in that position. Good boy. When I am practicing stay, you're not going to use really any other marker word than good, because I want to make sure the dog knows that staying in this position is what is getting them paid. If I use the YES marker and they start coming to me, we could have some fallout in that behavior, and he's going to start guessing and thinking that as I walk away and I get to a certain distance, I want him to come to me. Good boy. So again, we walk backwards, we walk side to side. I'm going to walk around him. Good boy. Break. You can also release your dog at any time, and when you release your dog, I want you to be close to your dog when you release them. The other thing that I want you to work on when you're working on stay, sit, is I'm going to have him in that position, and I want you to practice being able to drop the leash and making sure the dog is not getting up, and being able to pick this back up again without that being a signal to the dog that they are released from that command. They're very smart. They watch our body language. We tend to do things in patterns. If I drop the leash when I'm working on a stay, and every time that I go to pick it up, I release the dog immediately, they're gonna think that that is what that means. So practice. And the reason why we're doing this too is when we are asking our dog for obedience, they're not always gonna be on leash. So I don't want them to think that anytime I have the leash in my hand, that's the only time that I'm in control. When I have the leash on the ground there, I'm still asking him to be in that obedience. Now, if he were to get up without the leash being in my hand, what I would do is, and I'm gonna kind of tease him here, see if I can get him out of it. Hi, puppy. Oh my gosh, you're so cute. Hi, what are you doing? Oh, you're so cute, puppy. It's so cute, puppy. I guess he's well trained. No, just kidding. Oh, nope. Sit. So I'm going to say no, and I'm going to step into him with some body pressure there. You can, of course, pick up the leash and use a little bit of pressure and say no and guide them back to where they want. Good boy. That was really good. Good job, buddy. Good. Very nice. Good. Making those noises and calling your dog like that is also a really good way to proof some of your stays. Good boy. Free. Good job, Archie. You did it. Oh, big stretch. That's so good. So good. Now we're moving on to our down command. So it's the exact same premise. The only difference here is your leash pressure is directional when we get to that point. So I'm going to ask him to down. Good boy. Your dog should be able to down from a stand position. Good boy. I'm going to say good. I'm going to reach into my pocket here and reward him. When I reward him for the down, I want to try to be as low as possible when I reward him. So I do not want to reward him up here, because what's going to happen is the dog's going to start to creep up when we go to reward, and they're going to start breaking that position. So try to reward low. You can also put it in between their paws there too. Good job, buddy. And I'm going to use our release word, free. Good boy. And remember, your dog's release word is break, his is free. Good job. Down. Now I'm going to try to do the YES. Yes! Good. He should pop up and come get his food from me. Good boy. Down. Go. Very good boy. When I use the marker word go, I typically like to throw it behind the dog. That's going to make sure that they're not coming to me to get the reward when I say that. So they're going behind me, just helping reinforce that position. Arch. Down. Get it. And there's our get it marker word as well. Good job. Now with leash pressure, like I mentioned, it's going to be directional. So for the sit, we went up. Good boy. Now with the pressure for down, we're going to use a little leash pressure angled down. Good job. Break. Good boy. Break. Now you'll notice that I'm not all the way to the floor. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on that leash. I am just, good job. Break. Using a little bit of pressure towards the ground there. Good boy. And it might take your dog a second, and that's okay. Free. There we go. Now, just like our sit, I can do this without asking him to, like I just did, in case I think he's not gonna listen to me. We're at a busy restaurant, I just need him to lay back down. I can use some of that pressure there. I can also use it as kind of a guidance. If I ask him to do it, he's distracted, he's having a hard time, I can say down, and then I'm gonna use some of that pressure to help him. Good job. Free. And I can also do a correction here. So if I ask him free to down and he does not, I'm gonna do a pop with that leash. No. Good boy. And again, after you correct your dog and they do it right, I do want you to reward them in some aspect. You can say good boy, good girl, good job. You can reward them as well. We want to be fair. Good. Free. So now we're going to jump into our down stay. It's going to be the same process as our sit stay. Down. So I'm going to ask him to down. I'm going to start off by moving backwards from him. He does great. Good. Walk back and pay him. Good job. Now remember, you're good. It doesn't have to be food every time, but when you first start working with your dog, I do want you to pay them often. Good boy. So we started with our backwards movement. We're going to have some side to side here. Good job. I'm going to walk around him. And we're going to work on dropping that leash. And coming back and picking it up, making sure he does not think that that is an invitation for him to get up. One thing that I did not cover too is in your sit stay and down stay, I do want to be able to turn my back and walk away from the dog. And you're going to do this at a certain distance at a time. So I maybe got 20 feet from him. Good boy. I'm going to come back and reward. Good job. Now I'm going to get further and do the same thing. So with your stays, everything is just going to build off of it. So I started close to him. I'm going to start getting far. And it's very important to come back to him and reward him. I can come back and release him. I can come back and I can use that YES, but I don't want you to do it from far away. And while we're practicing this, we should not be calling our dog to us from a stay. Yes, good job.